There was a big leak last night on what was going to happen in the White House today. For years, authorities, especially the SEC, have enforced strict regulations on cryptocurrencies. But may they be preparing for a future where digital assets are used behind closed doors? If correct, this could explain recent legislative moves, central bank discussions on digital currency, and the continuous battle for control over blockchain innovation. We're examining the significance of every piece of news that broke last night and this morning. What impact might this have on Bitcoin, XRP, stablecoins, and the potential role of digital assets in the global financial system? This is one of the biggest crypto morning broadcasts I've ever done on YouTube, and the ramifications are huge. Stay tuned as we dissect each of these factors and go over how they impact your cryptocurrency investment. We need to cover a lot of ground. So let's get started on this right away. Bitcoin has dropped 2.55% in the past day to $89,015 today. Ethereum is trading at $2,193, down 4.5% at the moment. The primary low price of XRP is $2.52. It is down 3.51% with both stablecoins USDT and USDC finishing at 99 cents. All cryptocurrencies have a combined market capitalization of $2,893,000,000. We are taking a small long position in Ethereum here. This morning, I got the $215,900 entry. Pay close attention. Michael Saylor, David Bailey, Matt Young, Brad Garlinghouse, and JP Richardson of Exodus. Interesting. Chris Maslov, CEO of Crypto.com, Brian Armstrong, Zach Wyckoff, Sergey from Chainlink, and Arjun Sith from Kraken. I'm not sure if Gemini is listed here, but it's interesting that we might be missing a page. Gemini was absent, but Coinbase and Crypto.com were there. That's really, in my opinion, it will be a very interesting meeting at the White House today. We learned about the news that was made public yesterday. The fact sheet was located here. I want to get right to the point and dissect things. There are a lot of mixed emotions on Twitter right now. Do I have the answers to all these questions? I don't. I'll tell you what I discovered as a result. After I got back from my softball game last night, I stared at this for approximately 2 hours. I was standing in the kitchen. This is what I was experiencing. In order to demonstrate the actual importance of this and its possible links, I was citing historical examples. People are hopeful. People have a negative outlook. Contrary to popular belief, the government does not buy cryptocurrencies, as we just discovered. They will be looking for friendly, impartial ways to grow their Bitcoin holdings, but they won't be buying altcoins. There is a lot of cooking happening. Many individuals are stating that Ripple will turn over the escrow to the US government, which is plainly a cliche. Why would Ripple lose so much money? B, when anything is given out for free, its price never goes up. The primary news catalyst we hope to come out of this was the acquisition of cryptocurrencies. We urge people to spend because they would surely want to see that asset's worth rise if they did. If they're only holding it and got it for nothing, they still profit, even if the value decreases to a penny. Are you able to comprehend my words? But we'll dive right in. Let's access the fact sheet on the White House website. According to the report, President Donald Trump signed an executive order today to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve, NAU, digital asset stockpile, making the United States a leader among nations in government digital easing projects. This opening line is extremely bullish. Trump is putting his words into practice. He said the United States would be his top priority. In contrast to a reserve, he claimed he would issue an executive order on a strategic Bitcoin reserve and create a U.S. digital asset stockpile. Now, that's all fine. Let's analyze both of these. He is, however, fulfilling the pledges he made during the presidential campaign. Those who doubted this said he would never do it. Now you go. About 6 weeks into his presidency, you finished it. Asserts that the order creates a strategic reserve and treats Bitcoin as a reserve asset. The strategic Bitcoin reserve will be funded by Department of Treasury Bitcoin that was taken in criminal or civil asset forfeiture proceedings. Other agencies will evaluate the legal authority to transfer any Bitcoin that belongs to such authorities to the reserve. In short, the United States government is buying Bitcoin from any assets that have been frozen or confiscated because of illegal activities. They are also going straight after the US government. That's all. It further states that the United States will not sell Bitcoin placed in the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, which will be maintained as a repository of reserve assets. Here are some things to think about. Additionally, individuals are always very careful with words, as you know. So must the White House. They won't sell their Bitcoin, which entails they won't dump it on the markets to hurt Americans. Nevertheless, this shows no signs of trade. For example, the United States has traded oil for other commodities in the past. This isn't mentioned as a result, or maybe we just need additional details. In another country, will individuals trade Bitcoin for anything else? If that's the case, it's not good because if they traded the free Bitcoin they received to get anything back, the other country might dump a lot of it on the market. As a result, we need to be careful how we interpret this. It further states that the Secretary of the Treasury and Commerce may develop budget-neutral strategies for increasing Bitcoin purchases, provided that they do not result in higher costs to American taxpayers. This is Bitcoin just now, people. Wallcoins are unrelated to this. It says they will look for ways to buy more Bitcoin at a reasonable price. A strategy without a budget. What is it? I know you're going to ask me that, and I know the answer. Public-private partnerships would therefore be a cost-neutral strategy. For example, a trade-off for particular tax benefits or regulatory advantages that don't lead to a net tax loss. To encourage private organizations to contribute Bitcoin to a national reserve fund, the Department of Commerce may provide incentives. How about a federal reward for land mining? The government may lease federal land or excess energy resources to these mining companies in exchange for a share of the mined Bitcoin flowing into the treasury. We can talk about how the seasons are distributed. The government frequently seizes Bitcoin because of illicit behavior. The dark web is one such instance. Instead of selling assets at auction, the treasury may decide to hold them. That's good right there because in general, when they sell them in an auction, you get a pretty nice price. It's advantageous because the people who will benefit from the deal will dump them. After that, they talk about the US digital asset stockpile, which will be discussed in more detail in the